let's understand how people actually fall in love and let's demystify this process. So let's go over the ingredients that you will need for falling in love. You will need to be thinking about this person during the day, before you go to sleep, especially before you fall asleep, in the morning, mixed with some sexual energy and fantasy, and in no time you will be crazy in love and infatuated with this person that you might just have met or that you don't even know. I don't know. Hello everyone and welcome to Love Tune, your space for healing, inspiration and growth. My name is Ani Manukyan and today we will be talking about how to not fall crazy in love. So the topics that I will be covering are why not fall crazy in love, understand how people fall in love altogether, what type of people fall crazy in love, and from all of this, I want you to get the understanding of how to build strong, healthy love that lasts and that is not built on suffering and illusions, because that's what illusions are. They are basically means suffering. And I promise I am not going to make love into this logical explanation because it's not something you can explain. Of course, love is this beautiful art that we can feel, but I wish for you to get this knowledge and understanding to make better choices and decisions. So let's start with our first topic, and that is going deeper into why you don't want to fall crazy in love. And the reason why you don't want to fall crazy in love is because you don't want to fall for a bubble of illusions and coming to a space where you have identified this person and channeling all your energy, all your focus, all your imagination towards this one person and thinking that they are it, when you don't even know what type of qualities this person has. And before you do that, you really not allowing yourself to fall in love until you know what type of person it is, and does this person have neurotic behaviors? Have they been mistreated as a child, not received enough love so that they are emotionally unavailable, for example, and only really allowing yourself to go in those depths and allowing yourself to feel deeper levels of love, even thinking about falling in love to someone when they deserve your love. When you know that it's a real authentic person and has the qualities to be in awe of. And of course, you need those qualities to be in awe of in both ways. Because how can you be inspired and in awe of someone who, for example, disrespects themselves but also others, yells at others, is rude, is not reliable, is stingy, and doesn't have what I call higher human qualities? Because only then, when someone embodies those higher qualities, can you be in awe of them. And that's only when love can develop every day and you don't get discouraged because you thought the person was something else, but it was actually your imagination, your bubble and illusion that you created around this person. It wasn't them all along. And one day you just realize that, and then it might be just a bit late, or you've just wasted time, emotions, and all of this stress. But before we go deeper, let's understand how people actually fall in love, and let's demystify this process. So it's actually really simple. If you don't have a thought about someone, you will not fall in love, and we can leave it at that. But let's go deeper. So no matter how attractive someone is, no matter how much you are attracted towards someone, no matter how much your hormones and sexual energy is pulling you towards someone, because that's what attraction is, you will not fall in love with them, and you will not be crazy in love if you don't have constant thoughts about them. So let's go over the ingredients that you will need for falling in love. You will need to be thinking about this person during the day, before you go to sleep, especially before you fall asleep, in the morning, mixed with some sexual energy and fantasy, and in no time you will be crazy in love and infatuated with this person that you might just have met or that you don't even know. I don't know. But this is basically how it works. And like I mentioned, your thoughts mixed with some sexual energy creates this more powerful attraction towards this person. And just in short, let's cover a little bit about sexual ideals and blueprints, or internal avatars, whatever you want to call it, why you feel drawn to some people and why you don't feel drawn to other people, no matter how attractive or not they might be. The way sexual ideals work is they are actually developed really early on. They are developed earlier than puberty, and that's between ages 5 and 8, some early, some a bit later. You can check this research where they go into depth at different ages of a child's healthy sexual, may I point out, development, and how that looks like in different ages for children. Especially if you do have children, I think it's really important to know. But even for yourself, I think it's good to know how it develops and how a healthy sexual development looks like from childhood. Okay, going back to sexual ideals. So when they are developed early in the childhood, you might have picked up something. You might have picked up, let's say, a certain feature, a gesture, hand movement. I don't know what, but something might have captivated you, your imagination, and developed this attraction towards that feature, towards that specific ideals within yourself as you were developing. No matter how old, this blueprint goes with you throughout your life, and you can even see this in the choices of partners people make. Like, a lot of times it's quite similar, or they have some form of similarities. Maybe it's hair color, maybe it's length. I mean, it can be anything. So if someone is not attracted to you, you can just know, it's nothing wrong with you. It's just you're not part of their sexual ideals or blueprint, whatever. Because as there are sexual ideals, there is also a form of anti-sexual ideals. And just like we have ideals that we are attracted to, we also have ideals that we are not attracted to, that somehow while we were developing as a child, they have created this negative connotation or image within ourselves. So whenever we see someone that has that, it just kind of puts us off. So how can that look like? It can be anything. Just like with attraction, it can be big glasses that someone wears that remind you of that evil teacher that was so mean towards you, or it can be just someone that's really tall or really short or really anything. It can be anything, any specific color that someone wore. And that's why it's also important, especially if you have a partner, to know that for example, if you're making a change, if it falls within their anti-attractive ideals, then it might affect a little bit how your relationship goes. So it's good to check if you want to keep that relationship. Because it does affect how we see people, whether we want it or not. But also notice within yourself and look back at what you have been attracted to, and maybe pinpoint some blueprints and ideals that you can see within yourself that, oh yes, when I see this, I am attracted to that. So it's really good to also look internally and see what you yourself are attracted to. And if you have a partner, perhaps lead them towards that if they already don't possess those features or big glasses or whatever.
Annie from the future.
Please take it with grain of salt and common sense and with love for your person. And if it's just simple things that you can lead them towards, that is not gonna, cause them any stress, or, if it's just a pink shirt that you are so attracted to, then by all means, show them the signs, bring them a gift, So that's basically what it is about. And also the other way around, listen when, if it's someone that you care about, you want to keep that relationship and intimacy. If they tell you, wow, those, that dress or those shoes, like, gosh, they really are something, in a negative way, then you should perhaps listen to that. And going back again, of course, it's up to you. You love yourself first and do whatever you want. But then again, if you want to be attractive and to someone that you really love, then it does include also staying attractive and attracted to each other long term. So just doing this little shifts might help you a lot. If you like what you're listening to, make sure to share it with someone who might benefit and leave us a review to support this channel. It's also good to know, why are you falling in love? A lot of times it can be because you are bored or you need romance. For example, women are creatures of love. We love love, we love romance, we love beauty, we love flowers, everything. So it's really easy to just say, okay, let's create romance, But of course, you don't need a relationship to create all of that, especially if it's going to be an unhealthy one. So don't rush, to create this crazy love. Or is it just sexual attraction, like we mentioned? Is it just pulling your hormones and all of you towards this direction because of sexual attraction? And you don't even know the qualities this person might have. So check with yourself. Or, is that some form of a neurotic love, as I call it, where you feel unloved or you have been unloved as a child and you want to replay that patterns again and again, where you're looking outside of yourself to feed your love that you are lacking, and which is always not a great idea because it just feeds the suffering. People cannot give you what you don't already have. And that's why we need to go back to the source, which is yourself, for that love really becoming whole and not creating that same pattern if you had that with your parents of not receiving enough love or, not being fully filled up with love. So not looking for that outside of you and creating that same pattern over and over. And yeah, anytime you want a cold shower, just come back to this recording and listen to this and go through each checkpoint and see, am I being bored? Am I bored? That's why I'm creating this crazy love feelings. Is it sexual attraction, neurotic love, where I'm just creating the same pattern? Or am I actually learning the person's qualities and taking the longer route? So yeah, cold shower, you're welcome. So what do we want to do instead? We want to stop the thoughts about the person. If it's someone that you are not sure yet, if you want to develop deeper feelings towards, heal yourself into maturity, find the love you didn't get or not enough of from your parents, growing up within yourself for yourself. And actually there is power in seeing with clarity what type of person is in front of you and not creating this bubble of illusion around them, but really allowing them to show you who they are and checking the person for their qualities and also, of course, their maturity levels, emotional maturity levels. And when I say maturity, I don't mean in terms of age. Of course, you can have people who are older who behave like teenagers or who behave like children when it comes to their emotional state and how they treat you and all the rest. But it's more about the qualities the person possesses and if they do have higher qualities. And some examples, I will go more deeper into what qualities to look out for, but we can mention few. For example, if the person can keep their word, knows how to say no to himself or herself, and also checking if the person is a protector and not an attacker, and to remind you if someone raises their voice towards you, they will one day raise their hand. So really going deeper into different qualities that this person may possess. And I know you might say that a lot of people may fake their qualities or pretend like they are someone that they are not. And I think once you are deeper connected to yourself, it's really hard to, for someone to show up and for you to really not see through all of it. And another great way to actually see who the person is by checking how the person behaves in stressful situations. Because when someone is stressed, it's really hard for them to, keep face or keep acting in a certain way. A lot of times people get triggered in all kinds of ways. They start to behave in unexplainable ways, start to behave as maybe a teenager, or whatever trigger they have going on shows up when they are stressed. And I think Corona is a great example where during the pandemic, so many relationships really struggled because it was such a stressful situation for a lot of people. And yeah, it really showed how someone deals with stress. It really shows what they are built of and what kind of triggers they have, and if they are really unhealed and if they are really not stable internally, they will make it very clear to you, and you will know. It will be very clear to you based on how they deal with stress or stressful situations. I know that a lot of women have told me when traveling with someone and it's been a stressful situation, how the person started being rude towards them when they were completely fine before and being really disrespectful. So yeah, I mean, stressful situations really are a great way to see who the person is. But a lot of times you don't even need like a stressful situation or anything grand to show you who the person is. If they keep bringing you down, disrespecting you and others, it's already a sign that the person is not for your highest good, and it's not someone you want to fall madly in love with, because your suffering will just become worse and worse with time if it's someone that enjoys seeing you suffer or enjoys seeing you, become lower and lower, and does that towards other people around them as well. Then it's not someone who is mature, let's just say that, who needs healing and treatments. And again, because maturity is not in age, it's something that is internal. And if someone has been developed in a healthy way, then they will have those attributes to them as well. But at the same time, if this man or woman who don't know how to love and who runs from the sheer sight of love, if you show any sign of love towards this person, they will do something crazy or push you away to not have to go through the same trauma that they had from childhood, where they perhaps promised themselves never to love anyone again because they didn't receive that love from their most cherished, the mother that they so much loved, for example. So this type of people associate love with suffering, and it's a constant loop. And that's why this unloved boy or girl who still lives within this person will bring more suffering, because these are not fully loved kids. Of course, this is something, if you feel like you have this pattern, you can work on, shift, and heal yourself and become this whole person and not have to recreate the same patterns of, fake crazy love that you recreate within yourself. And something I also want to mention is a lot of these men, for example, might have very shiny exteriors. They might be very successful, have worked really hard to achieve a certain level, to get that respect and to show the world that, yes, I deserve love, I deserve respect, but who cannot keep healthy relationship because of this simple fact that they are not fully grown up men internally, and that shows in every action, in every behavior they have with you. So what I want to come to is basically that it's not an external thing. It might look like someone has it all figured out, at least externally, but internally it's a different story. And I know there's a lot of talk about being high value woman or high value man, and it's all based on external things and it looks shiny, but really sooner or later this shiny object will start to look plasticky and not shiny anymore if you haven't worked on yourself internally and shifted what it is that you need to shift, and not even be attracted to this type of people who still have internal issues that they have to deal with and grow themselves into maturity. You will just not even be attracted to that. That's how this pattern works, and when you understand it, you are becoming more empowered to make better choices for yourself. And the best thing that you can do is grow yourself into maturity. And as you do, you give yourself this space and time for yourself to actually open people up and give people this space and time to show you who they are and not fall for bubbles of illusions that sooner or later burst, but really making more empowered choices and decisions with your emotions and with this vital energy that you have. Because really falling in love and being infatuated with someone requires so much energy. It takes so much energy from you. So it's best to be wise and not play around with fire, but build yourself strong foundation internally of a healthy relationship that starts from you. Because if you don't have those patterns within yourself, you will not even accept anyone like that, anyone that doesn't offer you a wholesome, healthy relationship or love, or even allow yourself to fall for something like that. So giving yourself space and time and really checking for the qualities of the person and what qualities they possess that will actually inspire your love to grow stronger with time, because you will feel inspired by who this person is, and the qualities that they actually possess will make your love stronger with time, and it not something that will burst. And if this is something that you want to work on, I welcome you to check out Natural Unity that I have created. It's a 12-week program that goes really deep into helping you to become whole internally and create that growth and wholeness and see that shift in your patterns that you create in your external world. You can find all the details in the description. Thank you so much for listening. This has been the very first episode of Love Tune. If you liked it, please like and share with someone that you think might benefit. Spread the good karma. And other than that, I will see you in the next episode.